The train whistle faded into the wide Wyoming sky as Clara Mayfield stepped onto the dusty platform, her boots worn thin from miles she'd never walked. She carried one small suitcase and a folded letter that had brought her west, a mail-order proposal from a widower named Samuel Crow. He'd written of land, hard work, and the need for a wife. Clara had written back honestly, telling him she could not have children of her own. He had answered anyway, but when Samuel saw her in person, his face fell. He was tall and weathered, a man shaped by wind and responsibility. 3 children hovered behind him, 2 boys and a girl, their eyes sharp with curiosity and caution. Samuel cleared his throat, uncomfortable. I was hoppin' for someone younger, he said at last. Someone who could give me more children. Clara's chest tightened. She had heard those words before. I was clear in my letters, she said softly. I know, he replied, not unkindly. But seein' it plain, I reckon I made a mistake. He offered to pay for her ticket back east. Clara nodded, pride steadying her voice even as disappointment settled deep. She would leave in the morning. That night, Clara stayed at the boarding house, mending a tear in her dress by lamplight. A knock came at the door. When she opened it, 3 small faces stared up at her. We heard you can sew, said the oldest boy, Jacob, holding a torn shirt. And read stories, added the girl, Lila, clutching a book with a broken spine. The youngest, Thomas, hid behind them but peeked out with hopeful eyes. Clara smiled despite herself. I can try. They returned the next evening, and the one after that. Clara patched clothes, read aloud, and listened. She never spoke ill of their father. She never spoke of leaving. She simply cared. Samuel watched from a distance, puzzled. The children laughed more. They lingered at the boarding house until dusk. One evening, Lila slipped her small hand into Clara's without thinking, as natural as breathing. On the 4th night, Thomas tugged Clara's sleeve. Will you come home with us? He asked. Before Clara could answer, Samuel appeared in the doorway, having followed them. His voice was rough. Kids, that ain't proper. Jacob stood tall. Pa, she makes things better. Lila nodded fiercely. She listens. Thomas whispered, she feels like mama. The word struck Samuel like a bell. He looked at Clara, really looked at her, and saw not what she lacked, but what she gave. That night, he asked her to walk with him beneath the stars. He apologized, plain and honest. I was wrong to think of families made by blood alone, he said. These children lost their mother. I was so busy fearin' loss I forgot what they needed. Clara swallowed. I won't replace her. I don't want you to, Samuel replied. I want you to be you. The morning train came and went. Clara did not board it. Life on the Crow homestead was not easy. There were early mornings, stubborn soil, and storms that rattled the windows. But there was laughter too. Clara taught lessons at the table, baked bread with Lila, and listened to Jacob's dreams. Thomas followed her everywhere, certain she was meant to be there. In time, Samuel asked her again, this time without conditions, without fear. Clara said yes. The town whispered at first. A woman called Barren, raising another's children. But seasons passed, and the whispers faded. What remained was a family built by choice. On a warm summer evening, Clara watched the children race through tall grass, Samuel's smile easy beside her. She realized then that love, like the West, was vast enough to hold many kinds of beginnings, and many kinds of miracles.